Hello everyone, today is the 74th of our Manjushri namasamgiti's teaching. We use almost 2 years, 1.5 years to give the teaching for all the details of this tantra. Also we can call sutra of Manjushri namasamgiti. Among those present weeks, we already walk into the final conclusion. This is the conclusion third, right? We walk into the chapter of order. 大家周末好，现在我们进行五明讲经堂的第74讲文殊真实明经的讲习。文殊真实明经你也可以称为文殊真实明序，它又是序又是经，是一个综合显密的一部大法。那么我们用了将近1年半多的时间，给出了一些详细的讲习。我们现在已经进入了最后的阶段，总结篇。今天是第3总结篇的 order， 就是到此地。Now we take the word of order means we should take step to learn and to practice. Actually, according to our word, no, I'm sorry, it's not our word. According to the Tsongkhapa's words, the Master Tsongkhapa, the true incarnation of Manjushri, he is expert, and is the expert scholar and expert, very high-level practitioner on this sutra, Manjushri namasamgiti, and on the Yamataka, the Manjushri's practice. So his word is a standard for us to learn, to practice. So now the conclusion most is according to the teaching from the Master Tsongkhapa. He said we should take the simple and correct order to walk into the peace, to the liberation. So what's the order? What's the peace? The first we can say is listening, hearing, listening, gather teaching from all of the school of religions. Then maybe you are lucky enough, you choose the Buddhism. Then you walk into the Buddhism. You should turn around and you should hang on with each kind of tradition, the branches of the Buddhism. You listen different kind of teaching from different monks, from different lamas, from different practitioners, such as this. The Bali languages, the Tibetan languages, the Mongolian languages, the Chinese languages, or Korean or Japanese languages. They are all very good, perfect tradition we can follow. And then after that long time, you can say research or listening or studying. Then you choose one of them as your main branch to follow. Then you should think about it. Why you should choose that one? Why you should choose that monk or that lama or that specific tradition or specific languages or specific branches we call yana. Yana means vehicles. Actually, we Buddhism call the different branches a different yana. Mahayana, Vajrayana, like this one. Why? This why is the result of your thinking. So the second step is thinking, right? First step is listening. Second step is thinking. Then, after a long time of thinking by yourself, actually now you should go back to yourself to think by yourself, not just take words from your teachers, for gurus, for lamas, for monks. You should take it and then go back to your whatever you have, the house, a barman, a key, or a tongue, whatever it is. You should think about it. Then make your own decision to practice. So the third one is the practice. You should practice your own. But how? This is the three of them. This is the first topic, right? 那我们在总结篇的第1讲，我们讲了 我们现在的总结实际上是遵循着文殊菩萨的真实化身，文殊真实明经的最优秀的修行者宗喀巴大师，藏密格鲁派的创始人宗喀巴大师他的讲期来做的。我们遵循的是菩提道次第广论跟密宗道次第广论。那么它里边提出了关于次第有几个范畴。那我们第一讲讲的是闻思修这个范畴。第一讲什么叫闻思修，就是首先我们要去听从各个不同的宗派，听从不同的宗教，同一宗教的不同的宗派，同一宗派不同的讲师，无论是喇嘛、和尚等等，我们来听取各种的讲习，然后判断。这是第一个。第二点，我们听了所有的讲习，我们拿了所有的资料，然后回到你们的地方，无论你们的地方是大 house 还是 apartment 还是 building whatever 还是个 cave 山洞，你们回到你们自己的地方，回到你们自己的结界，然后认真的思考反思，然后最终决定选取哪个，就是思，文思的思。下一个就是修。那么修我们在第二篇详细的讲出了如何修的一个次第。At the second time of our conclusion, we give the details explanation how to practice. What order you should take when you walk into a practice. That is, first, you should follow your teacher. I mean, living teacher. Of course, as a Buddhism, we all following the Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching, right? We read the sutra, we give the teaching, we think about all of this, actually according to the things, the happening of the Buddha Shakyamuni. But besides, we should follow a live teacher. Because the practice is not only by words, most practice is by your action. And the most advanced teaching is not without any action or without any speech. It's just a mind. We can say mind transference. Your master look at you, do a mudra, and then send you a message. You should receive this message and get enlightened. Of course, this the story from Buddha Shakyamuni and his main disciples of Ashi, the first level of monk. But this is the first guru of the Chan tradition. But actually, this is a very good tradition for our Buddhism. We should get off those speech, get off those action. We mainly focus on your mind, your consciousness. When you walk into the high level practice, there's no speech at all. You can say, oh no, you chanting always. Yes, chanting is not speech actually. At advanced stage, chanting just the combination of your speech and mind. We call Vajra chanting like this. Actually, the guy hang on with you cannot hear anymore, but yourself can hearing this, can catch on this sound. We call Vajra chanting. This is the most perfect chanting method. Why? Because our chanting is not for the humans mainly. Byproduct maybe can be heard by some students of our families to do some healing purpose, treatment such as this. But main purpose of chanting is for the deities, Buddha, Bodhisattvas, those divine beings. So we don't need to chanting loudly. We can chanting loudly, but we don't do it always, right? Because the main purpose is to calling, is to do this, is to liberate ourselves. If you always chanting loudly, actually the vibration is very low. If you're chanting loudly, the vibration going down. But if you keep it as a Vajra chanting, like, so the vibration is so huge. Yeah, that examined by the modern instruments. So it's for sure. what we want to talk is we should focus on the mind. So how to get a teaching from those teachers, those gurus or lamas? You should follow him, follow her. You should look at him or her daily practice. You should check out why the teacher offer incense, why a teacher do the circulation, why they do this day and night, why I wake up last night at 2 a.m. to chanting. There's some purpose. There's something I catch it up. So I wake up and immediately I practice. Yeah, that's the reason. But if you didn't follow me, you cannot check out why. That strange guy, why they wake up at 2 a.m. Because there's some reason I wake up 2 a.m. And I think it's very urgent, so I chanting. Maybe you guys cannot get it, but I think somebody can get it. Or something happened lead to me to do this reaction. Yeah. So that's very important. We know your teacher, just that example. So we follow your teacher, just follow example. But you should know, we should find a good teacher. How? We should use a long time to inspect that teacher. You should inspect Lama Jiangya. Is that a good guy or bad guy? And it's not enough just to be a good guy, because you are a teacher, Buddhism teacher. So you should be good student of Buddha Shakyamuni himself. So you should check out your teacher, do the good practice daily and night. That is very, very important. Don't just look at the face, look at the raw, look at the center, how auspicious, or how wonderful, or how luxury it is. No, you should look at the mind of that guy. Because if that guy cannot keep connection, use his own mind connect with the Buddha's mind. So you cannot get the lineage. You can get the bless through your teacher, through the Buddha Shakyamuni himself. Is that clear? So like a lineage, right? What's that lineage? Lineage is not your guru, the teacher, get empowerment, so you can get empowerment. No. You just get empowerment, get this form, but most of the person in the empowerment cannot get it initial. Why? Because the mind cannot get connection. So that's why empowerment place you cannot move. You cannot go. You cannot just go easily. You cannot go, I'm sorry, I should go to washroom. I'm sorry, I should get a Coke. Even I should go out for a smoke. No. If you raise up, go, then the empowerment is gone. Because at first, the guru, the teacher, the lama, will invite the Buddha's incarnation to go to different kind of seat, to transfer yourself, the student's human body, as the vase, crystal vase, and pull the seed in this vase, like a milk. But if you go out, the purification just gone. You know what I mean? So it stopped. But your guru cannot give you another initial when you come back, because there's a gathering, right? Cannot do it for you, for specific. So you cannot get empowerment. That's the reason. Yeah, everybody try to get lots of empowerment, but there's no initial at all. There's two words. You can get empowerment at that time. You seem to get it, but actually you don't. There's no initial at all, because you didn't get the feeling. You cannot move freely, you cannot speak, right? You go to somewhere to check, everybody move, everybody talk, everybody like whatever they want. There's no initial at all. So that's the reason. So many persons declare they are Dharma practitioner, but just a few of them can practice. So this is the word from Tibetan Saga Bandita. There is that the follower, the guy who declares themselves as the Buddhism, is like a cloud in the sky, like a cloud in the sky. But the guy who are the true follower of the Buddhism teaching is just like a star shining. And the one who can get final liberation is just the one like the sun or a moon. So that's very, very rare. Why? Because a lot of persons try to pretend it to be. Actually, it's nothing at all for your color, for your hair, or for your style. It's just for your heart, your mind. Okay, so you should follow a teacher, and then do the teacher give you the instruction. You need to do it until you get some feeling, until you get direct connection between your mind and Buddha's mind. Then, now at that stage, the guru's burden just hand to your own. You know what I mean? Before that, before you get connection between your mind and Buddha's mind, there's a bridge. That bridge is your teacher. So your teacher gets this burden very heavy. But when you get connected by your own, your teacher's burden just handing to yourself. Your teacher just like inspector, not just the bridge, just the inspector to secure your safety during those procedure. So that's why. At that time, you should practice your own very hard. Because at that time, when you already got connection between your man and the Buddha's man, you yourself mature enough to be a teacher. Right? You can get your own student. You should hand their burden on your back. So this is a lineage, because your teacher at that time is very old. Yeah, cannot handle that huge burden. Because at that time, old Lama should practice for their own to go to Pure Land. This is generation for generation for generation, like a parents, grandparents, parents, and children, daughter, like this one. So this is the second class we give the conclusion as the order. And last week, we gave the third one is to how to, if we already choose some piece, some direction, some tradition, or some branches as our own, then how we can walk into. So you should know it before we starting the practice. This is one point. And on the process, we walking. On the process, we practice. You should always keeping on your mind the following ideas. That is, one, as a human, we are so auspicious because we have a human body. We have chakras, we have channels, and our chakras and channel is so suitable for Dharma practitioner. For example, as a demo, we cannot practice Dharma practice very well. Of course, the demo try to practice some demo because there is some king of demo, also Bodhisattva. But it's very hard because the chakras just the four chakras. It's very hard to practice. There's no prana involved. So they cannot get enough nutrition. They cannot get enough prana to support their own body to liberate. Finally speaking, actually, to merge their own body into the ether. It's very hard. But for us, we have this advantage because we have the 7 chakras. We have 3 channels. One is Min One, another one is Mon and Sun. Then we can take good nutrition from food, from air, from sunshine, moonlight, and then besides we can chanting because we have very good strong heart and man chakras. This does menstrual purify. If we purify enough, then we can liberate. No, it's not liberate that way. We can merge ourselves because our human body is collection of 5 elements, right? This is the earth, the bone, the meat, and there's the water, the blood, the liquid inside. And if we practice, there's fire from the body button, right? Like a tumor. Then we can mark the window. It's the vent. Please look at the vent. It's not the vent outside. I said vent is inner vent. Ordinary person, there's no wind at all. There's just a little bit wind, but not strong enough. But for a Dharma practitioner, we have fire inside. We can burn the window. Then the window will transfer into vent. Then we have very strong inner vent. Then this inner vent will bring like a house, like a Porsche, to like a vehicles to support our conscious from this heart chakra, going up until you get out of this. When we passed away. Or some high-level Dharma practitioner, they don't need to wait the final path. Even they are alive, they can go out of. Yeah, so that's why there's the superpower for the high-level Lama. They can do it. They can transfer their man to whatever they want. Yeah, we call transference. Transferring, yeah, the consciousness. So it's very, very high level. And by this level, there's a luxury body. We can do whatever. The things we benefit all beings, accumulate the good merit for us. Right? All this advanced Dharma practitioner, Dharma practice are all relay on our human structures. So that's why we are very, very auspicious. You should always think about that. Always remind us about this. We are so proud of this. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your human body. This is the one hand. The other hand is a sad story. It is, we cannot fix the time, the method, the place. We pass away. This is our humans' shortcoming compared with other beings' realm. For example, the God realms or astral realms, they have ability to, to forecasting the time, the day, the exact place, and exact method they pass away. For example, the God realms, because the God realms, in the crown, there's a flower. Like out here, there's a flower. And there's no sweet at all, always good smelling. If the time just come, if they have to pass away, so the flower just, I don't know how to say it, just falling down maybe, yeah. And the sweet is just coming out. The smell is not so good. So they know, oh my goodness, the time is coming. They will do some preparation for this. But for a human, no. There's a lot of accidents. There's a lot of sickness. There's a lot of things happen suddenly as emergency. So no one can make sure where, how, why, when it should pass away. So that's why. This is the other hand. One hand is we have so auspicious human body. Another hand is we have so uncertainty on our past away. Right? If you can put two hands together, that's the conclusion. That we don't need to waste any time. We must practice now. Right? Because if we waste our time, if we always waste our time, and that day we have to pass, there's no preparation at all, we should fall in love. So this is the topic. Last week, we gave this. So that's why we should take refuge. Okay, I'll give it a Chinese. 那么我们在上一讲跟上上一讲思维的就是暇满人生。对于我们人生有两个特点。第一个特点，我们有暇满的人生，因为我们有三轮，我们有七轮三脉，所以我们的这个人的身体是最适合修佛法的。 最适合修法的，最适合解脱自己的。那么这是我们一个最好的特点。像 Demo 像恶鬼道，它只有4个轮，我们就没法去修行，或没法很好的修行。另外一点就是作为人身，我们无法预知何时何地以何种方式死亡，以及死亡之后去什么地方。因为于此，所以我们更应该紧迫的去修行。一方面我们有暇满的人生，另一方面我们的人生又不能完全掌握在我们手中，所以我们结合在一起，我们就不能把暇满的人生浪费。我们应当思维人生寿命无常，刹那即过，何时将死不能预知，人生难隔，佛法难闻，珍惜时间，刻苦求证，应该皈依三宝，求其解脱。这就是我们上星期讲的。So this is the some how to say some feedback for the last week, yeah, because some students didn't come. Now this week we should give the follower. That is the third order from Junkamas. What's that third order? As I talked before, we are all very auspicious as a human, but our man is different. Our man, our consciousness, our merit accumulation situation is not the same level. It's not conflict with the word of Buddha. Buddha said all beings is equal. All beings are equal, right? Everybody is equal. Even the animals, even the stone. Yes, it's good words. But the Buddha's word is at the point of fruit. But our situation is a point of beginning, of courses. You know what I mean? From the concept of courses, we are not at same level. For the point of fruit, we are all same level, because all beings will be liberated in the final one as a Buddha. So all beings is equal. But as a courses, we are not equal, because we are come from different realms. Somebody, now this human life is a billionaire, is a millionaire, is a president, is a king. But somebody, this life is work as a slave, or work as a animals, or some animals work as a ghost, or some ghosts work as a human, as a hell beings. Why? Because the previous life and the one before previous life, they accumulate good or bad karma. If they accumulate good karma, when they were born, you should get very, very, how to say, handsome, no, it's, how to say, clever face. Very, everybody look at the baby, wow, the baby is so pretty. We give them smell. But if some baby get bad karma, oh, that face is so whoa, like a wall. I cannot describe it. Somebody, oof, what's that baby come from? yeah, it used to be. So this is a reflection from the previous karma. And when they grow up, the things changed. Even the brothers and sisters, they change a lot. Yeah, I have brothers. Yeah, they change a lot. We live a different, total different life. Yeah, different place and different kind of lifestyle. Yeah, they look at each other as not so, yeah. Because I look at them, they say, wow, just waste our time. They look at me, wow, that crazy guy. Yeah, so we cannot understand each other. But we grow up, yeah, at least before 6 years old, and live in the same family. Yeah. Why? Because of previous karma. This is the reason. So, according to the Master Junkaba saying, there is 3 levels. One is we cannot say lower one, the common one, we can say common one. Above this common one is the medium one. Above the medium one is the highest one. So the common one, all the guys in the common one, they try to get the benefit for this life, or some benefit for next life, but mainly on this life. They prefer to live as the God wills, or they prefer to live next life as God wills. So they want to be very rich, want to be very powerful, want to be very influenced guy, and next life they can be reborn as a God. They made him as a made a God as a 50,000 years life expectancy. But actually, it's not the purpose of a Buddha practitioner, and it's not the final destination of liberation. Because if you just try to live as a God realms, still the God realms can be falling down to the earth when the good married running out, right? Like you have $1 billion in your bank account, you always living a very luxury life, so you have someday to run out all the deposit, then you have nothing. The same situation applied to the God realms, because in the God realms there's no idea to do the accumulation of the further good merit. They always want to expand. They want to use it, not to earn it back. So someday they will run out. Why? Because the God realms, they can get everything they want. They want to get good dinner, they don't need to cook them. You just think about them, so the dinner is coming. Actually, they don't need to eat, because the God realm, there's no the physical body. They just look at they want to eat that mango. You just look at the mango. Then the nutrition just coming inside to their man, to their conscious. They can get satisfied. So it's very easy. So they don't need to earn money, or they don't need to do something like that. So that's why they can live very long time, because they didn't run out the energy, receive a lot of energy. But still, they realize the things that's coming, right? That's ring out, maybe that didn't use the energy, but that use their merit, because they want to get everything, and they can get everything. But still, these things happened. These things happen just because they use their merit, like they use their bank account deposit. So someday the bank account will go into zero. But they don't think they need to accumulate further good merit. They didn't want to do the religions, do the spiritual development. They didn't want to do something to benefit others. They just want to live happy for their own. So there's no further good merit accumulate, good karma didn't coming again, right? Just want to use, there's no back, so someday it's run out. When the balance run out, they're falling down. So we call this is the common level of humans, of all beings practitioner. They just try to get this life, happy life, and next life, also happy life as their God. It's good enough for most of person. It's good, because they didn't want to hurt anybody else to get this, right? So it's accepted. It's accepted idea. But it's not so advanced. So Zhongkapa call it's common level. For common level, what deity they should practice? Yaman Raja. Yaman Raja, the king of death. So Zhongkapa said, if you label yourself as a common level guy, you should pray for Vajra, which case or Vajra of the Yamaraja, the king of death, because this is the only thing you're scared. Right? You have everything in this life because you already are a billionaire. You already got U.S. president, so you can get everything what you want. What you cannot conquer is just the death. So you should pray for the king of death. It's the Yamaraja. And second level, above the common one, we call the medium one, is those medium guy. They realized that even they can reborn as a God realm, still there's sometimes they should falling down. Right? So the matter is, it's not the problem of death, it's the matter of they didn't get the final liberation. So liberation and death is not the same word. You know what I mean? For the common one, they think death is the death, death is the end. All the happiness just gone just because of death. But actually, it doesn't matter, death or not. Even you alive. Even some guy alive, the happiness is gone. Because the matter is the liberation or not. It's not a death or alive. So, they call the medium level consciousness. This kind of consciousness, or we can call beings, they realized that the liberation is the most important things. So they try to practice by their own. They try to do good things to accumulate good merit. They try to help others, help poor guy, to support the religions, to support the monastery, temples, whatever it is, to accumulate as much as they can for their own, because they know this is very good to support their current life and support their future life for the next generation, or even next generation of their own, or next generation of their children. So it's very, very good. Yeah, and that's true. Because if you can accumulate good enough merit, you can transfer this merit to your daughter, to your son, to your next generation families, and even to the third generations, to a grandson, granddaughter. They know it. They clear the theory. So they try to do the good things, to donate the coin to homeless, to donate the money to support the temple, support monastery, to support the church. They try to do a lot of good things for this society, to protect the environment, to save the animals, and this. Yeah, it's very good. Then Master Tsongkhapa said, this medium level guys should pray for Dharma, the king of God. But it's not the Mahagala, the medium one, the king of God. We can say the gatekeeper of the heaven. So we call it's Doan. We call it Sanskrit is Bishapani. Zava. I have a tongue cut this. It's the umbrella, and this is the ras. Ras is for the fortune. Umbrella is for the safety and healthy. So this is Bishapani, the medium level consciousness. We should pray for Bishapani to get protection. And actually, it's very, very good. But still, it's not enough. It's not enough. Why? Because this kind of level person just realized their own liberation. But their own liberation is not very high. Because if somebody just think about their own liberation, the highest level they can get is not a Buddha, it's Arahant. You know Arahant? Yeah, the Sri Lanka, the Thailand, Buddhism, they all believe in Arahant. They believe in if they can walk into that city of Arahant, they can live immortal. Without this human body, they still can live as a rainbow body. Live in the mountains, live in the water, live in the sky. arahant. So those monks believing their guru are all arahant. They always live in this world, this samsara world. Maybe result of human conscious, our human bodies, but also get the conscious still. So we call arahant. Transfer, give it a translation. Arahant is the Sanskrit, means the guy who never go back to this world. That's the alive person, because a live person will be died. Because they cannot be died, so it's not a live person, it's just conscious. So arahant. But arahant is not a concept of our bodhisattvas. So Tsongkhapa said the highest level is bodhisattvas, we call. What's that mean, bodhisattvas? Bodhisattvas means the guy who already accumulated enough merit to reborn as a God, to reborn in the pure land, in the heaven, in the pure land, as the God realms. But they didn't always keep this. They tried to go back to this samsara world to see all beings together, to liberate all beings, because they realized just with the condition that all beings can be liberated, they can be liberated as the Buddha. Maybe I didn't see that very clear. That means Bodhisattva we call the Buddha in ready. Not Bodhisattva. How to pronounce correctly? Bodhisattva, right? Bodhisattva. Yeah. That translated in English is the Buddha in ready. Not Buddha in future. Buddha in future is matriarch. Yeah, Buddha in ready. So we already ready to be a Buddha, but not yet. Why not yet? Because we already got liberated by our own. We accumulate enough merit to reborn as a God in heaven, but it didn't. We already got liberated from our human bodies. We already master all the 5 elements freely. We can transfer ourselves into rainbow body. Yeah, but they use this power to go back to save all beings in this samsara world. Why? Because they know the Buddha, this word, is not a person's name. Buddha, this word, is a collective consciousness term. You know what I mean? So it's not Buddha himself. Of course, the Buddha himself as a Shakyamuni. But actually, we call Buddha, actually, it refers to Buddhahood. You know what I mean? Buddhahood is the collective state. Means, like a Buddhahood, means there's a state. In this state, all beings get liberated. Then all beings muted together. What I call all beings means a live person, the animals, even goes to satellites. Because at that time, there's no the term like this one. There's no label at all. And the surrounding one, the prana, the stone, the trees, all these veins muted together. The 5 elements muted together into the final one, ether. And this final liberation state we call Buddhahood. So you should know it. If you get the Buddhahood, you mean you already walked into Dharma Dhatu. Dharma Dhatu means a state. Dhatu means a place or a schedule. You already combined the space and time together and muted them together. There's no space like our samsara world. We are in Canada. The south is the US. The north is the beer, poly beer, right? So actually, there's no such concept. And there's no the concept I was talking about this morning. The past, the future, and now present. No. We all merge this together. In that state, all things and all beings merge together. So the Buddhahood is totally different with the heavens concept. Heaven still a place, still have the concept of the time. So the beings in the heaven as a God still has some limitation, but the Buddhahood is not. Buddhahood is an immortal concept. So if we know it, we will understand there is some precondition. We can walk into final Buddhahood. That is all beings liberation. We cannot just liberate our own. Then you declare yourself, oh, I'm walking to Buddhahood. No. So actually, we said in a sutra, we said when we work very hard to liberate ourselves, then we have qualification to reborn as the Bodhisattvas in the Pure Land of Amitabha. Then we practice. We get teaching from all Buddhas. We practice a lot. Then we walk into the high level Bodhisattvas, at least 5 levels. Then we will go back to this samsara world. This world of samsara world we call Buddha Shakyamuni's world. We see all beings, and then get liberated. That's the story of Buddha Shakyamuni. He got a lot of incarnation, a lot of time as a Bodhisattvas. With the human forms of this life as a Prince Shakyamuni, with the deer's form, with the lion's form, with the eagle's form, with the tiger's form, a lot of, and then all other humans form as a merchant, as a salesperson, as a warrior, a lot of form. But this life, this current life, 2,500 years ago, as a form of prince, then this time he got finally liberated. Because at that time, at that scope of air, all the condition was satisfied. So it's emerged. So that's why the Buddha Shakyamuni gave the prophet for the future that there's a future Buddha coming. But it's a very, very long time later. It's it's 100 million. No, it's 500 million, maybe 500 million years later. The Buddha Mitra coming down. So if we think ourselves, we have enough merit, we have very smart idea, then we can label ourselves as the highest level. Then we should pray for Mahagala. Mahagala is the highest one. Mahagala is the Buddha. It's a Buddha's incarnation. So we should pray for Mahagala, especially our white Mahagala, 6 arms. So Tsongkhapa said this high level should pray for Mahagala, because Mahagala is the Buddha's concept. This is the idea. And this high level one we label as Mahayana. What's that Mahayana? Mahayana is like this one. So it's like Tibetan, Mongolian, Korean, Japanese, Chinese, those Buddhism, all Mahayana. We believe in the concept of Bodhisattvas. And we believe in we should walk on the peace for the Bodhisattvas. And finally, we can liberate our own and all beings together. So, as a conclusion, what is a Bodhisattva? That is a Bodhisattva, is a king. Bodhisattva is the most important things. Because if we just try to accumulate merit for our own, it's a limitation. But if we get this Bodhisattva to benefit others, so your eye scope very large, very huge. So you can accumulate for your own, at the same time for others. for this life and for your next generations and for your next incarnations also. So it's very good. This is the topic we have give for today's teaching. And next life we will give the teaching for the Paraparamita and Vajrayana. Yeah. Okay. This is today's teaching. Let's detect the merit. Oh, I should. Bhagavan Savadada Gata Banjamani Muja Bandasha Samya Sadhu